Good morning, St. Augustine. Your access to the voices of top local newsmakers starts now. Here's your host, Liz Ryan.
Thanks for tuning in. Nice to have you aboard this morning. I'm very blessed to be interviewing someone who I consider a good friend of mine, Paul Slava, president of the St. Augustine Beach Art Studio and Gallery. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
You're a busy guy. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me this morning.
No problem. Yeah, maybe Sundays are the only day I could take a little breath.
There's so much to talk about. It's going to be hard to fit it into the next 30 minutes. But before we delve into all the things at St. Augustine Beach Art, tell us a little bit about Paul Slava. People want to know who I'm talking to. For the few people around St. Aug who don't already know who you are, give us a little bit about your background. Where'd you grow up and how'd you get involved in the art scene?
I grew up in Ohio. I'm a Cleveland, Ohio boy, right on the lake. And, God, I've been an artist for as long as I can remember. And in bands. I was in a little music scene in the late 70s and early 80s in Cleveland, and did a little bit of what they would call punk rock. So there you go. It
that
seems
was
like
a great
eons
time
ago.
for live music.
It really was. And, Cleveland is not the capital of rock and roll for just no reason at all. It was very great, and just all the different kind of music genres and everything we had. Great place to grow up.
What do you play?
Started out playing bass, and actually I'm self-taught, and played a wider range of instruments afterwards. And now I can't sort of bend my wrist around a fretboard anymore because of rheumatoid arthritis, but I do have my pipes still. I do a little singing, and I live vicariously through my youngest child, Jake, who is now took up the mantle and slinging a hot guitar, and so we're thinking of maybe having a little father-son duo here or there. Look for us around your local pub, right?
I'll be the first in line to catch your shows. So I'm thinking late 70s, early 80s. Back in the day, you must have covered bands like the Ramones.
Exactly. Yeah, those were all our heroes. The Ramones, Television, Blondie, Talking Heads. Yes, things like that. In fact, our big claim to fame is that we did play CBGB's in 1980, where all of our heroes played. It was quite a scary place in person for a 16-year-old to be at, but it was very interesting to play. We could say at least we played it. We scrawled our names on this scary bathroom wall, and yes, we did it. And quite the smaller, when you see it in person, it was a really, it was a dive, to say the truth. It was a small, skinny place. The acoustics were horrible, but we got to say we played it, yes.
Okay, well, now that I know I'm talking to somebody famous, what brought you to St. Augustine, Paul?
Wow, it was just our happy place for the kids. We used to, I raised my children in South Florida, and we used to just come to St. Augustine for vacations and everything else. And then it wasn't, long before I said, well, how would you guys feel like living in your happy place, which they used to call it? And they went crazy and said, oh, yes, please. I'm a single dad, and just all the things that this city offered, especially by having all school-age children at the time, knowing that it was one of the best counties for schools and everything. And it did all of them right by them. They're just really I think, steeped in the arts, and they ended up finding careers, all of them, in that. And so it was a great place to raise children.
Anyone who gets to come of age in St. Augustine is so lucky and so blessed. There's so much to do here.
Exactly. Yes, and a lot of things free, which are amazing too. So everything I'm doing is part of almost giving back too, I think, because wow, what a great thing for a dad on a really small budget to have 3 kids, sort of entertain them and everything. So I do think that a lot of things I'm doing now is probably a little giving back, a little payback to the city that took care of us. I always said that sort of St. Augustine and St. Augustine Beach were a co-parent, for me.
Oh, that's a beautiful sentiment. I love that, Paul. Now, fast forward to the St. Augustine Beach Art Studio and Gallery. How'd you get involved with that?
Yeah, that's something, again, it seemed to be just, I guess, meant to be, because on my second day here, back in 2011, I went to see this beautiful building by the sea, and there was a flyer on there that said, do you want to be a part of a community arts organization? And literally the hair stood up on my skin. I'd done a lot of this before in Ohio and in South Florida, and I was wondering, are they talking about this building? Or is it just an abandoned building that they're able to post, a bill on there? And so I called the number on there, and sure enough, it was that building. I showed up the next day with a hammer in my hand, and here we are. About 14 years later, the place is thriving. I ended up, I was one of the founders, and now I'm the president of the art studio, and we boast about 150 members. We're a nonprofit and a 501c3 corporation.
Fantastic. And it's right there at the pier.
It is. Talk about location. It's beautiful. I can't believe they let us play around there. But it's very nice. It's a city-owned building, and we're housed as well as along with the dance company. So it's slated for the arts and for nonprofits, and we're so lucky, to have that. We were instrumental in saving that building too. It was slated for demolition in 2000. So a lot of artists and architects and cooler heads prevailed, and we were able to get some grants together and save the building. And now it is protected it is registered for historic places. We found historic relevance for it. And if you come down there, you could read all about it from the Waves of Change exhibit that's on some of the pillars there, that it was really instrumental in the Civil Rights Act and everything else for the wait-ins. I'm sure you heard of some of the, when they were trying to desegregate a lot of the restaurants and things like that, where people had sit-ins at diners and such. Well, these were special to desegregate the beach. We had wait-ins where the people locked arms, hand to hand, and to just show solidarity in desegregating the beach, and was very instrumental in the civil rights since 1964.
I'm so glad that building got saved for so many reasons. It's a real gem of Anastasia Island. It's special, absolutely, and we're really blessed to be able to be in there and functions. Yeah, we just have great programs, and one of the ones we're very proud of is, I think since the beginning, is our children's art workshop. We've seen a need for that, and like I said, about giving back and everything. So we're offering a 2-hour, basically walk-in class once a month from ages 4 to 11 years old, and they're able to just come in, bring themselves and just their imagination, and their parents could stay or just drop them off, and they walk away with little pieces of art and treasure. We have a lot of things programmed for them to do, and projects to create, and everything from just visual art to gifts, cards, games. One coming up we're doing happens to be right before Mother's Day. So of course we're doing a Mother's Day, little gifts, that kids can make for their moms. We're going to make cards, and we're going to make all kinds of, art and treasures that they can give to their mom on Mother's Day. And it's absolutely free. It's no cost. Everything's free from all of the supplies and everything else. And they walk away with some beautiful little things and gifts to keep and to give away. I don't know if anything brings more joy to a child's heart than creating something for mom or dad and giving it to them as a gift. Their little faces just light up.
I was just going to say that. It is. It really is. You just see them transformed and like, wow, I could do this and I could have this. And, there's a lot of people, from what I hear, they bug their parents going, is it time? Is it this time of the month yet to come? And, I just love hearing that. And so we do have a lot of repeats, but then we see a lot of new kids, every month. And this is why it's been getting just so bigger and bigger that I think it necessitated us being like a whole nother. We're going to have a whole nother program, because we started seeing also that there was, by word of mouth and everything else, and satisfied parents, but there was a lot of and the guardians too. There was a lot of children and young adults with special needs that were coming, and really started networking and getting, like I said, through word of mouth. And that I think it necessitated a whole standalone class and a workshop solely for children and young adults with special needs. So that's what it's turning into. Not only having our regular children's class, but now we're going to have a whole new class just for people, young adults, like I said, and children with special needs.
So, Paul, is that where Mandy Fravel comes in?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, we've had this children's class and program since the beginning, but Mandy, who has dedicated like the last couple of years of her life to cultivate and elevate this program, to have multi-projects, sometimes 4 or 5 things to do in a 2-hour class, is the one that really, really ramped this up to like the next level, and started getting, like I said, a lot of people with special needs and everything. And I think that from her experience, and a lot of that came out, and it was perfect. And that's again where it just happened to be where another person, just like I, reading a flyer on the front of a building, where Amy Raymond, she's a companion through ADP, Agency for Persons with Disabilities, simply saw that flyer like on the door, called the number listed, and it was Mandy, and it was like an advertisement, and she just talked about the information of her companions, and she's a provider for these activities and other ADPs, sort of a networking to give these children and young adults like recreational activities, above and beyond the group at home environment. So, this was perfect for her and for her companions, that she does look for things for them to do.
People like Mandy and Amy are so special. They're like earth angels who have a gift of bringing light and joy and pride into the lives of kids with disabilities.
Absolutely. I think it's giving them just a whole full, well-rounded, life of activities to enjoy, being it like sports or outings, and then us, now we could fill the artistic and cultural aspects of that. So, and like you said, the healing factors of art can't be denied. There's been so much scientific analysis and studies, that have proven this, but it doesn't take a scientist, like you said, to see a child or a young adult's face light up when just given some art supplies, and to start create and see their contentment when they present a finished piece and want to keep it, or better yet, give it as a gift. And it's so wonderful to see. But yes, it wouldn't happen without people like Mandy and Amy. You're absolutely right. So I'm so glad to give them the space to do all this in.
I think day trips and sports are really cool and really important, but art, it gives the kids something that they can take home and hold on to and display proudly, and brings them such good memories of the day they made that special piece of art.
Absolutely. I mean, how great is that to point at it, if it's on the fridge or the wall or whatever, right, and it brings back all those memories. You're exactly right.
The St. Augustine Beach Art Studio and Gallery is open to the public, right? What are the hours?
Yes, we're open daily from 12 to 5. There's some special times, especially with some things coming up, but we're open early on Wednesdays to take advantage of that wonderful market, the Wednesday market that we have out at the Pier Park, which is a farmers market, food, but then there's also art and artisans and everything, and that's right outside basically our front yard. So we keep open with that, so people could come and see our place at the same time, because there's a built-in crowd right outside. And coming up soon, where we kicked it off with that brass band on Friday, but on Wednesday evenings, every Wednesday all the way up until October, we're a part of the partnership with the Civic Association called Wednesdays Music and Art by the Sea. It was Music by the Sea, but a couple of years ago, they rebranded it. Bill Jones and Bob Samuels got us involved, and not only now can people come out and listen to a different band every week, but they can also, while they're waiting for that band, come into the art studio, and we're open late. So Wednesdays are going to be really our super day, when we're open from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. So there you go. It just elongates our open hours, and it's a great opportunity not only for our patrons and everything else to come and see, but our artists have an extra opportunity to show more of their work. We give each of the artists like a whole table full that they could bring of their art, and So it's a lot different than, just maybe the one or two pieces they have in the gallery. So it's a great time to come out, talk to the artists too. They're right there. You get to ask them about their, what's behind their technique or what they were thinking about when they created this or that. It's great interaction with the artists.
It always brings a smile to my face when somebody mentions your friend and mine, Bill Jones.
Yeah, there you go. He is the president of the Civic Association, and wow, he's been a friend and partner to me and the art studio since our inception. They really helped us get off the ground, and I don't think that we would be who we are without them, and definitely without Bill. He's got his finger, I think, in everything, but whenever there's a big event or whatever, you could bet it's Bill Jones behind it. So absolutely, and so I'm just so glad that they've given some grants too to keep our First Fridays going. As you know, we're part of AGOSA, which is the Art Galleries of St. Augustine, and we have a First Friday where all the galleries in St. Augustine and the beaches are open special for the first Friday of every month. And for us, we offer live musical entertainment, usually just one person, sort of a solo singer songwriter, and we have some food and drink too. But the Civic Association has given us a grant so we can give the musician a stipend for that. We have to ask them to play for free. They've got an actual gig and a paid gig. So we're very pleased to give that to the musicians, and that just enhances our First Friday so much. People have come to, come out and enjoy it. We've got a large following now for First Fridays for just people saying, wow, yeah, I want to go out, look at some art, and hear a great musician. You've got to thank Bill for that.
How do you get around First Friday Art Walk? Is everything within walking distance? Is there a shuttle?
Downtown, there usually is. You could go downtown, and there is a free shuttle that goes around and loops like every 20 minutes or so. The beach is a little bit different. I'm so glad that at least we're recognized as part of the Art Walk, and we do have a nice partner in a new place just south of us called an Art Affair, which is, oh my God, they have great collections. Peter Max, Salvador Dali, and his wife is a very well-accomplished artist as well. But so for the little, places on the beach like High Tide and stuff, you could probably walk to each one of those. But yeah, we're a little well off of the beaten path of downtown. So there was a shuttle, at one point, but now I think, you just sort of, have to take an Uber or something like that if you want to go downtown. But we boast that you can come to see us, and we don't have all the parking problems that you would have downtown. We're right in the front of a beautiful, large, deer park, and we have parking, spaces galore. So you really don't, if you want to, avoid that whole hustle and bustle crowd of downtown, you can come out to the beach. Make a night of it, I always say. You could visit us, visit the Art Affair, and then there's so many great restaurants around it. Oh my God, just have a dinner afterwards and complete a whole night. So I think it's a little better than dealing with parking and everything like that downtown.
I'd agree. And St. Augustine is a foodie paradise. You could eat somewhere different every night for months.
Right.
I love it here.
Right. I know.
Yeah. You're listening to Good Morning St. Augustine. I'm your host, Liz Ryan, chatting this morning with my friend Paul Slava, president of the St. Augustine Beach Art Studio and Gallery, which also involves photography. Tell me about Red Hot Lens.
Yes. Like I said before, the first Friday of every month, we try and highlight one of our artists as Artist of the Month. But this June coming up, and it's June 6th, happens to be this first Friday, we have a lot of really, really talented photographers. And there's about 7 that consistently show photographs every first Friday. So I thought, let's have a little group show and highlight them. So yes, we started Red Hot Lens, and it's a summer photography show of all of our basically artist members that are photographers. And this is going to just put a highlight on them. They're going to be maybe having about 3 or 4 pieces each, and you can go and see, and not only see their beautiful images, but then they're willing, they're all going to be around 11 by 14 images, but they also want you to know that they could print on demand on basically anything now. As you see, they've been printing on glass, metal. It's amazing to see. Of course, we're all now, everyone's used to the printing on canvas. You could do a wraparound canvas where it looks like a painting or something, but it is art, and so they could print on canvas. And just let the public know that that's available in any size that they would want on any kind of medium. So they would be taking orders for that as well. And so, yeah, I would love you to come out on for our first Fridays, but especially the one in June, to highlight our photography crowd. It's really going to be a real good show. And it was originally slated for deeper into the summer, which is why it's called Red Hot Lens, but it's still going to be a red hot show. It's going to be great.
What is the website, Paul, to refer to?
Oh, absolutely. If you want to see this and everything else that we have, go to our website is www.beachartstudio.org. That's O-R-G. And but we also, more lively and up-to-date things that we do day-to-day is in our Facebook page, and it's simply under the Art Studio. You'll see a nice graphic rendition of that beautiful building that we are in, and that'll show you that you're in the right place. So we have a Facebook page, and we're also on Instagram. And you can see, but our website does have a calendar where you can refer to that, and you can see everything going on a certain date. In fact, the big one coming up that I was telling you, for anyone that would want or know someone that could benefit from that special needs art class, we have the first one of those going to be on a Sunday, just like a day like today. But it's going to be in a Sunday evening. It's going to be June 1st at 5:30, and it's going to be for 1 hour. But again, all the supplies are going to be provided, and this is going to be in addition to our regular children's class that is usually once a month on a Saturday from like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And all these things you could find on our website, a calendar, and Facebook page coming up. We remind people all the time and have regular postings of that. But it's really good, too, if you could pre-register for these. So there's a number that you'll find in there, and to pre-register for those classes. And each one of them will most likely be monthly. Like I said, but you can always check our schedule on the calendar.
It's so wonderful, Paul, that you offer these children art workshops for free. Where does the funding come from?
See, that's it. Well, we're glad to be in a position where we are a nonprofit, and we are a 501c3. Its funding has dried up a little bit on the federal level. We understand, too, that a lot of things were cut in Florida in general. So we do look upon the generous donations of the public and other organizations like the Civic Association, like the Cultural Council, for example. They're a great resource and help out any kind of artistic organizations, and especially nonprofit. I think they have a special love for anyone that's doing this, in a nonprofit role. So that's what we have to do. We have to count on the generosity of people to really fund these things. And I think there is enough of that going around. Like you said, we live in such a great town, and there's a lot of generous folk that really do love to see this kind of programming, and will support that whenever they can.
If people want to volunteer, how do they get involved, Paul?
Oh, please. They could, the easiest way, too, I haven't given out our phone number, is they can call 904-295-4428. And we love that. We love volunteers. Basically, all of our members are like volunteers. They're the ones that keep the place open 7 days a week. Our artists, our docents, are there, the gallery sitters. So we literally, it is like a co-op. So they all have a little stake in our place that are opening. So every member is a volunteer, basically. And but we love to have more and more volunteers, anyone that has some free time, and definitely to see this, even to help in some of the children's activities. We're always looking for people to clean up, set up. That's how it works. And so there's many, many things to do. And you could see that, a lot of people get their satisfaction just helping in any way they can. So anyone that has any kind of free time, please call us. We definitely have somewhere for you to be and something for you to do always.
And Mr. Paul Slava, I want to revisit this before our time together ends. For anyone who may have just tuned in, there's a wonderful seasonal concert series that happens at the Pier. And the 2025 season starts back up May 21st. It's a free concert series. The season kicks off with Elizabeth Ross, and the week after that is Those Guys. Oh, June 11th is one of my favorite local bands, The Edge, performs at the free summer concert series. Soulfire performs June 18th. The Paul Lundgren Band takes the stage June 25th. All these concerts begin at 7 p.m., but what happens before these concerts?
There's a great part of it. We are open late because that is our partner, the Civic Association, and it was rebranded Music and Art by the Sea because we are a part of it. So while everyone's waiting for the concert and the music's to happen, you could come on over to the art studio. We'll be open, and you could see all of our wonderful art. You could purchase art and jewelry and gifts, and it's a great place to spend the time until the music starts. So we make sure and open, and we're even open a little bit past when the music's starting. If you're at all taking a little break or whatever in the middle, we'll still be open there. So yes, and that's every week. It starts, and it's a wonderful time. We really get excited about that, and you'll see a different artist there every week as well.
And once again, the art studio opens early on Wednesdays during the farmers market?
Yes, that's our big day. So we're basically on Wednesdays open from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. So you can come out definitely if you're there early for the market, or if you're there early to get your seat at the concerts. We will be open. That's going to be our big special day. And like I said, it goes all the way into October. So yeah, starting on that May 21st all the way through till October, we'll be there every Wednesday.
I love buying pieces of art or handmade crafts, soaps or jewelry, things like that as gifts, because you're not only, getting a high quality gift that you can give to someone you care about, but you're supporting local artists and local small businesses.
Absolutely. And I say that every time I'm there and someone purchases something, I say thank you for supporting local art, because it does mean a lot. I think the customer too is a little more savvy now, that they don't go to souvenir shops and T-shirt shops. If you really want a part of St. Augustine and the beaches, that's where you go. You go and get like a lovely piece of art. We definitely have a piece of the beach in every single art piece in there, because that's where we're located. So you really do. You're going to get a lot of beach themes, things with shells, everything to remind you of St. Augustine Beach. And so they're right down, like you said, to the jewelry and little things, and quite affordable. We keep our overhead very low, so that we know it translates into affordable art for the customer. It's amazing. And like you said, each one of these people are just all local artists, so you are supporting local arts and a local artist. Sometimes, like I said, just doing something, for their part-time. We have just a wonderful age range, but we do have a demographic that's a lot older, and they just found a new life in creating art, and it's great. And they found some kindred spirits there to create with, and they just very much get tickled when their stuff sells, and it makes them feel really good that they're contributing in a way. And God, we have some beautiful and talented artists, and yeah, it's not going to cost you a fortune.
And outside of your special early opening hours on Wednesday, what are the normal hours for the art gallery at the Pier on Anastasia Island?
It's usually 12 to 5. So we're there right in the heart of the day from 12 to 5. And like I said, we have different docents, which are basically our member artists, different ones every day. And they could bring their work, their extra work. So if you come every day, you're not going to see the same thing. You're going to see a different show every single day. And then, like I said, we have a lot of special opportunities where we're open either later or earlier. And we do have lots of classes, too. Like I said, please check our calendar for all kinds of affordable, again, classes, if not free. There's a lot of them that are free. And you could just drop in and see what you think about whatever. Learn a new craft. There's everything from watercolor to oil painting, to we have an origami class coming up. How fun is that? Everything to find. Check our calendar, and there'll be something to do every week. It could be different.
And one more time, Paul, please, the website.
The www.beachartstudio.org. And again, our phone number is 904-295-4428.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Paul. I could talk to you all day long. It's such an interesting topic. I love talking about art. And if you love art and music, St. Augustine is such a great place to live. Aren't we blessed?
Yes, absolutely. I know this was my place the moment I visited.
Same here. I fell in love with it the minute I set foot here in St. Augustine. Paul, what do you think you'll do with the rest of your Sunday?
Oh, wow. It is a chance to sort of recharge my batteries and do great things, but probably I'll be doing a lot of work because, like I said, on June 1st, which is another Sunday, we'll be gearing up for that special needs young adults and children's class. So it's always something, but you know what? Like I said, you don't call it work when you just enjoy it and love what you do. So there you go.
Well put. Thank you, Mr. Paul Slava. And thank you for listening. I'm your host, Liz Ryan. We'll see you back here next week. And remember, all of our shows can be downloaded as podcasts. Go to flaglerbroadcasting.com, click on the podcast page, and scroll down to Good Morning St. Augustine. Enjoy the rest of your day in our beautiful, ancient, historic city.